The Senate now has before it for final consideration the committee report relative to the gubernatorial appointment of Steve Landon to the State Insurance Fund Board. The Secretary will read the committee report.
January 19th, 2021, the Commerce and Human Resources Committee reports it has under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Steve Landon, appointed to the State Insurance Fund Board, term to expire April 30th, 2024. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. Patrick, Chairman.
Madam Chairman, I move the Senate adopt the committee report.
Madam Chairman, I second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded that the Senate adopt the committee report. You've heard is there debate on the motion? Senator Guthrie is recognized to open debate.
Thank you, Madam President. Appreciate the opportunity to carry the gubernatorial nomination of Steve Landon to the Idaho State Insurance Fund Board and would ask for your concurrence. Steve and his wife, Pamela, live in Chubbuck and happen to be my constituents, and I'm honored to be presenting his nomination this morning. This is a reappointment. Steve has served in this capacity for the past 12 years.
12.
And in looking through his application, Steve lists no conflicts and has not missed a meeting in the past 2 years. I found something interesting as I read through his application because it wants to know your last 3 employers, and Steve only listed 1. That's because he worked for the J.R. Simplot Company Don plant for 43 years. And if I did my math correct, he started his career at Simplot's at the age of 19. So outside of maybe a few jobs before that of probably little consequence, he spent his whole career there. That tells me a couple of things. We all know what a great employer and company and a place to have your career Simplot's is, but it also speaks of Steve's loyalty and his commitment. And while at Simplot's, his jobs included a laborer, maintenance apprentice, journeyman maintenance mechanic, certified layout welder, journeyman pump and motor rebuild specialist, and lead planner and scheduler in the rebuild department. He was also heavily involved in local and international union leadership positions for over 40 years in roles way too numerous to list, including at Simplot's over 20 years as president and lead negotiator of Local 632, representing hourly workers at the Don plant. And just a sidebar comment, if I might, because myself, coming from a labor and blue-collar background, and having been a union president in a heavy industry environment, I always have a great deal of respect for those who serve in those capacities and careers, and working men that work with their hands and do things and build things will always have a special place in my heart. I'm going to tell you straight up, a few years ago, Steve ran for a legislative seat in a district that did not necessarily favor his political leanings.
Including me.
And we don't always agree.
Ran with him.
As far as our political thought.
And I ran against Mr. Guthrie here that's speaking on his behalf.
Nonsense. And if he was in a role to advocate for something important to me, I would have great confidence of my chances for a positive outcome. Without a doubt, he will continue to be a strong voice on the State Insurance Fund Board. Finally, Steve has been retired since 2013 and for the past 5 years has served as president of the Idaho Alliance of Retired Americans. Senators, I hope you will join with me in supporting Steve Landon's appointment to the State Insurance Fund Board. Debate is open.
Is there further debate?
Mr. Mark and I, say something. No? You nominated me. You asked me to run against Mr. Guthrie.
Hearing none.
Debate is closed.
Senator Guthrie.
Madam President, debate is closed.
Debate being closed, the question is, shall the Senate adopt the committee report? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. The ayes have it. The committee report has been adopted. This report will be filed in the office of the Secretary, and the Governor will be so notified.